Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my November book haul. It seems I will never stop hauling too many books. We have 17 to talk about. Teen, not tea, don't worry. 17 books to talk about. I was expecting 2. Because I had 2 pre-orders. So I'll be talking to you today about some pre-orders, some books I bought myself to cheer myself up, some lovely gifts from you guys, and a gift from a publisher. Did I say that already? I don't know. I've descended into chaos. But let's just get cracking, otherwise we'll be here forever. The first books I want to talk to you about are ones I found in a charity shop, and I paid about £4.50 for these 4 books. So I'm incredibly happy about that. The first one is The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. I've heard some good things. I still have only read one Lisa Jewell book, but this one really caught my attention, mainly because of this. It says dig here. You know. This says, Midsummer 2017, teenage mom Tallulah heads out on a date, leaving her baby son at home with her mother, Kim. At 11 p.m, she sends her mom a text message. At 4:30 a.m, Kim awakens to discover that Tallulah has not come home. Friends tell her that Tallulah was last seen heading to a pool party at a house in the woods nearby called Dark Place. Tallulah never returns. 2018, walking into the woods behind the boarding school where her boyfriend has just started as a head teacher, Sophie sees a sign nailed to a fence, a sign that says dig here. I think it's going to be great. I actually have really good expectations for this one. The next book I got in that charity shop is Dear Mrs. Bird by AJ Pierce. This one had been on my radar since I saw the cover of the sequel, which is Yours Cheerfully, and that cover is just gorgeous. So I knew what this book was, and then Mal, from a book fiend named Mal, she was reading this when we did sprints together, and she said that it didn't really seem like exactly my kind of thing, but like I could be interested in it because it's quite humorous. So this is set in London in 1941, and amid the falling bombs, Emmeline Lake dreams of becoming a fearless lady war correspondent. Unfortunately, Emmy instead finds herself employed as a typist for the formidable Henrietta Bird, the renowned agony aunt at Woman's Friend magazine. Mrs. Bird refuses to read, let alone answer, letters containing any form of unpleasantness, and definitely not those from the lovelorn, grief-stricken, or morally conflicted. But the thought of these desperate women waiting for an answer at this most desperate of times becomes impossible for Emmy to ignore. She decides she must simply help and secretly starts to write back. After all, what harm could it do? And I think this sounds great. Yeah, definitely not my typical kind of thing, but I definitely feel like it could be really good. I could enjoy this. It could be one of those odd things that's not quite my vibe, but that I enjoy. Next up, kind of on that same line actually, but I've just heard amazing things about this, is My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies by Frederick Buckman. I have not read any Buckman yet. I have A Man Called Ove, or Ove, or Uve, or however. I have that one and haven't read it yet, but this one was kind of screaming at me because it was just in perfect condition in this charity shop and I had to grab it. I've heard genuinely amazing things. It says, when Granny leaves Elsa a mysterious series of letters apologising to those she has wronged, her stories come to life in ways Elsa could never have imagined, sending her on a breathtaking adventure of her own. I feel like that I said those words twice. Anyway, I've heard really good things, and I mean, it's a long title. It intrigued me. The next one I have is definitely the one I'm most daunted by, but I have heard amazing things, and that is Clara and the Sun. It doesn't even feel like my vibe, and I'm scared. I'm scared, but the back sounds amazing. It says, from her place in the store, Clara, an artificial friend with outstanding observational qualities, watches carefully the behaviour of those who come in to browse and of those who pass in the street outside. She remains hopeful a customer will soon choose her, but when the possibility emerges that her circumstances may change forever, Clara is warned not to invest too much in the promises of humans. Doesn't it sound so good? I'm just scared. Next up, let's do the ones I kind of bought myself full price, but they were still very cheap. The first one is The Merciless #3 by Danielle Vega. If you saw last month's book haul, you will have seen that I got #4. So we finally have finished the collection with #3. I believe that's all the Merciless books now. I just think they look so cool together. If you weren't around on my channel when I read the first one, or obviously don't remember, the first book is about a teenage girl who maybe or maybe not gets possessed, and this group of teenage girls decide that they have to perform a violent exorcism. it's just a joy. And I just really like these books. I like the look of them. We then have 2 romances that I got from the works for £3 each. They are such a steal. The first one is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. The majority of people will have bought this for the reason that it's the author of The Hating Game. I got it because of these tortoises on the cover. They are on here with little numbers painted on them, making me think they race tortoises, which first is very exciting, and just made me think of my tortoise, who is painted with an orange stripe, so we knew who he was. And that makes me excited to read this book. I genuinely picked it up for the tortoises. I kept it for the explanation of what it is, but I picked it up for the tortoises. This is about Ruthie, who is 24 and fully committed to her job at a luxury retirement village. Teddy is practically allergic to a hard day's work. When he rocks up as the retirement village's newest employee, Ruthie is less than impressed. The last thing she needs is a distraction as irritating and handsome as the selfish rich kid. So obviously, we're gonna love it. And the tortoises continue on the back. And the next romance I got was Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. I had this one on my radar for quite a while and hadn't really looked into it, I won't lie, I just heard amazing things. But this is about Karina, who dreams of having a love story like her parents, but she prefers restoring her classic car to swiping right on dating apps. When her father announces he's selling her late mother's home, Karina makes a deal with him. He'll gift her the house if she can get engaged in 4 months. Which that's all I'll read because I feel like I've read it out so many times and I just keep reading blurbs. But I have very, very high hopes. And as I was flicking through, I saw text messages. I love it when a chapter starts with text messages. I don't know why. That is like my favourite thing. There's news articles. There's news articles. Okay, I'm excited. Let's continue then with the ones I bought myself, and that leads us on to my 2 pre-orders for this month. Can you guess what they're going to be? Of course you can. Everyone and their mother has pre-ordered these books. The first one is The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is the prequel, again hinting for the next one, of They Both Die at the End. And this is the Waterstones copy. I don't know how different they all are, but this one is indeed signed and it makes me very happy. So I haven't looked too much into this book, but They Both Die at the End is it's kind of our society, it's only vaguely dystopian because there is a text message that you will get on the day that you're going to die, and you can join I think it's an app service called Deathcast. I feel like I'm making this up now. No, Deathcast is who tells you that you're going to die. So whether it's through the same app, I can't remember. I need to reread it. But in They Both Die at the End, there are 2 characters who get buddied up as friends for their last day to help each other enjoy their last day. And I love it so much, genuinely so much. So getting this prequel was on the top of my priorities for this year, and I achieved it. Saying that then, the other prequel I got this month, I bet you can't guess, is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. I may have to just drop all of my plans and just read it because I know I'm gonna love it. But this is the prequel to It Ends With Us, which is about Lily and Ryle and their relationship, and a man called Atlas is also mentioned. And I believe, wait, okay, I was wrong. I can't really talk about what this is about because it does lead on from the last book with looks into the past. So I just need to read this immediately. Okay, I was sent 1 book from a publisher this month, and then I will get onto the gifts. The book I got from the publisher was Salt and Sugar by Rebecca Carvalho, I want to say. And this is a contemporary Romeo and Juliet set in Brazil, and that's all I really need to say about it, I'm sure. It is about our 2 characters, Larry and Pedro, who have competing bakeries in the street, and they're called Salt and Sugar, if you would believe it. And yeah, contemporary Romeo and Juliet. I am fully on board with it. It did come out on the 1st of November, and I have to wholeheartedly apologise to the team at Harper 360 YA because I did not take notice of that when I requested the book. So I haven't got around to it before release day, but I am very excited to read this book and I will be prioritising it as soon as possible. Okay, the gifts. There have been some amazing gifts this month and I don't even know where to start. The one that I'm trying not to explain to people that I got because it's pure tentacle porn. Stalked by the Kraken by Lillian Lark, and this was a gift from the lovely Crazy Mal. This book was genuinely branded to me as tentacle porn. I can't believe I've just said that twice in a video. Maybe I'll have to put a beep over that. I don't really know what else I can say. I do have plans to read this for a very specific event that I would actually like to start planning soon. So I'm going to reach out to the person I'm planning that with, and we're going to get cracking on this because I am looking forward to reading this in February. Maybe for like a week or like 2 weeks when I read other books like this. We'll see. Next, I have a gift from the lovely Nicola, and that is The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. I am very excited. Oh my god, what words did I just say? Filth. Pure filth. Pure filth I just saw. This is about Cherry, who is 30, flirty and done with men, and Prince Reuben, who is reckless, dominant and famously filthy. Paparazzi catch the pair kissing in an alleyway. Reuben's anonymity disappears faster than Cherry's knickers. How I've not read this one yet, I also don't know. Then we have some books from the lovely Claire, who has spoiled me this month. I still can't believe one of these. The first one, the one I knew was coming, the one I asked for when she said she was getting rid of it, is Leech by Hiran Enns. I'm not quite sure on that one. I will need to look into that. This is really weird sounding. This is about the Interprovincial Medical Institute. Hundreds of years they have grown to survive by taking root in young people's minds, possessing them and shaping them into doctors, slowly replacing every human practitioner of medicine. But now it appears to have competition. Following the mysterious death of one of their doctors in an isolated castle, a replacement is sent to investigate. Yet upon arrival, they find not a simple cause of death for the doctor, but a parasite. The question is not who will make it out alive, but what. Definitely out of my comfort zone, but I just think it sounds so weird. And I'm up for weird. The other book from Claire, where she's just spoiled me, is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. And not only did she get this hardback book, it's the signed one and the sprayed edges. So, oh, I have the little card from when I met Juno at Yalk, and I'm just so happy, so happy. This one sounds, again, not really my comfort zone because I don't really do witchy books, but I loved, what was it called? Hollow Pike by Juno Dawson, which is a backlist book. And I thought the concepts in that were really good, and that was a bit witchy, so I'm very excited about this. It says, hidden among us is a secret coven of witches. Known as Her Majesty's Royal Coven, they protect crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil, but their greatest enemy must come from within. Prepare to be bewitched by Juno Dawson's first adult series, a story of ancient prophecies and modern dating, of sacred sisterhood and demonic frenemies. I just think it sounds so great. So great, and Claire is too kind. And moving on to our last amazing person of the month. One of these books I still cannot believe I am about to hold up. I'm still just that grateful. We start with The Mary Shelley Club by Goldie Moldovsky, which I should have said is my first gift from the lovely Victoria. I love her so much. But this one, I'm just really intrigued by it. But it says, high school is a scream. New girl Rachel is easier to make a fresh start at Manchester Prep, but as a scholarship student, she struggles to fit in among the rich kids and finds herself turning to horror movies for comfort. Somehow, the stabby serial killers and homicidal dolls seem less scary than bored trust fund babies. Then Rachel gets caught up in a prank gone awry, going from weird loner girl to public enemy #1 overnight. I'm not going to read more into it. I just think it sounds so much fun. I love the spine. And it says, the Mary Shelley Club is a secret. A fear test ends when your target screams. I'm here for it. And then another one on a still really weird vein, but completely different. We have Magma. So this says, love is a spectrum. It is as painful as it is wonderful. And that is creepy. This is about our main character, who is a young woman becoming smitten with an older, handsome university student who reads Latin, quotes philosophy, and cooks balanced vegetarian meals. Seduced by the newfound intimacy of a shared bed and shared showers, and fueled by the desire to please her partner, she doesn't realise when his quiet and pervasive manipulations start to unravel her. And there's really not a lot of writing on the pages, which I know is like a silly reason to want to read it soon, but I just saw a chapter that was called Oral Sex, so I'm really intrigued. And finally, the last book of my book haul, and the book I cannot believe I now own, and I am so grateful to Victoria, is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and this is the Fairy Loot edition. It is gorgeous. So gorgeous, and just look, and just look, and just look at all the goodness, This was the one that, when obviously I don't get Fairy Loot because I don't like that much fantasy, but this was the one that when everyone was getting it, I was incredibly jealous and considered buying it for the silly prices that people list them for online. But I just have Victoria in my life, who is an absolute angel and has given it to me. I'm so happy. But this one I haven't even read yet, which is so bad, isn't it? But I do have the original copy, which was a lovely gift from Laura. So I'm going to keep those two gorgeous books side by side, and one day I'll read this. But there we have it, guys. Those are the 17 books I got in October, whatever month we were in. Let me know, have you read any of them? Do you have any insane thoughts? Are there any I should avoid? Any I should read instantly? Please do let me know. But on that note, it is the end of my lunch break, so I need to go back and do some work. So thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.